M VIT 19. Now I request Santosh Desai to give a talk on mobile OS.
Yeah, good morning everyone, esteemed judges and my dear friends and hi. Yeah, my name is Santosh Kumar, I am from CS department and today I am going to discuss about mobile OS. So here are the topics there which I am going to do. So basically I will give the introduction about what is OS and what is mobile OS. Then I will talk brief chronology and then I will go to the types of OS and a few case studies and finally I will come to the security concerns. Next slide, please. Okay. Actually, this number and this figure have changed the evolution of the OS very innocently. So that's a bit of surprise, and I'll come to that at the end of this talk. Okay. So basically, when people created the idea of phone, the idea was very much minimalized. It was to the calculation, gaming, and communication, and sometimes accounting. So they want to keep account and keep tracks of what they were doing and summing all those things. So then when I said evolution, it gets complex with the time. So the first one was IBM. IBM introduced IBM Simon phone in 1993 in the first. Then Palm joined the competition in 1996, which brought Microsoft and Nokia into the battle. Nokia introduced the Symbian OS, which was basically before that it was just a supplier of cordless phones. So with the Symbian, it just flushed the market and it was first commercial success. And after that, we have BlackBerry, which flushed the market in 2002. Okay, later Memo OS was born, which gave Samsung the power to come into this battle of providing more customer service. But the problem was that due to each individual company having its own custom UI, people were confused as to buy what, get what. So what they found is Sony, Google, HTC, Samsung and Dell, they formed the Open Handset Alliance in 2005. So they wanted to make an OS which put a standard as to how a mobile should work. So Open Handset Alliance worked for like 2 years, but by then the Android Incorporation's Andy Rubin had his own thought. He wanted to make embedded systems totally with the handheld devices. So he was basically concentrating on wearable technology, but yeah, later he came to the phone business. But before that, Steve Jobs had his own brainchild. Like before that, he created iPod, and then came the iPhone. So the only problem with the iPhone was it was very expensive. So people wanted cheaper and more efficient stuff. So yeah, as you know, 2009, I think it was Gingerbread, which flooded the market with its own OS and its own custom UI. By then, they used Linux kernel. So yeah, the era of Linux collaboration started from there. So we have Vada, Memo, Nego, and all other Linux-oriented things. And recently we have Jolla also. Jolla has released that selfish OS, very basically. Yeah, next. So what is the difference between OS and mobile OS? The basic difference between mobile OS, it starts from the basic definition of the OS itself. So an operating system is a software that manages the hardware and software resources, and basically it performs the data abstraction to hide the basic content of the underlying principles. So we have like major computer systems like Windows and Linux, and we have iOS and Android for phone systems. So yeah, I can discuss about the OS platforms, real-time operating systems, which basically concentrated on the underlying applications rather than customer utility. And then we have single tasking systems, which only provide like one tasking. And we have single-user multitasking systems that don't exactly do multitasking like the previous one. Even WebOS was a multitasking system, but official multitasking system was the Android. So you can run multiple processes simultaneously. Then we have the difference between desktop OS and mobile OS. Yeah, here also. The basic difference between desktop OS and the mobile OS is that the phone part, when the communication call is received, how do you assert the other applications according to the call? So that defines how mobile OS works. So we have other things like size and memory and security and support to various applications. Like you cannot run Photoshop on a phone. So in that way. Okay, next slide please. Then we have a few case studies. Yeah, this was the first smartphone of my cousin. It was never released in India, and he didn't allow me to play with that. Okay, anyways. So Palm OS was created by Jeff Hawkins. It basically used Motorola and ARM processors, but ARM was used in more advanced fashion. Palm OS has its own contribution to the mobile OS industry, which is like single tasking environment. Like there is no changes and there was no like stacking up in between. So it was first continuous operating system in that way. Then we have a monochrome resolution, and yeah, the touch facility was like it had a growth spurt, you can say, in the handwriting recognition rapidly too. And then we have synchronizing the pieces, so you can upload and download the music from the net, and you can, from the PCs you can store the data. Like the capacity of the memory card and all this stuff, they were included in this one. And we have all other generic applications like numerical lock, USB infrared, and other things. So the only thing is that there was no security concern in this. It was just like a play toy. So there was no security concern over that. So these were attacked by Liberty, Crack, Page, and Vapor viruses. And there was poor customer like UI, and there was poor customer support. So that was bad in this. Then we had Symbian. Symbian was basically a Nokia collaboration, like people think in that way, but it was actually Sion's project. So under the Epoch. So it debuted with Nokia S60, and it was very much commercially successful because of its customized UI. And the user interface was so glad that even from children and to the elders also they can use very easily. And there was no like manual to read to understand the words. So that was the achievement of that, and it has its own principles and gallery of achievements. So it was also the first mobile to use an antivirus. It had so many viruses that they had to put an antivirus for it, and Bulgari was the official antivirus that was supplied, like McAfee and other stuff from what we have. So the Qt framework, which was used by Symbian, is now a standard in the market. And then we have touch feature, which is actually like virtual keyboards and virtual drawing. So that was actually a project under the codename Orbit. And then we have multi-language, and it had its own kernel. The specific achievement of the Symbian is that it made its own version of C++. So making its own version of C++ ensures security to a greater level. So you can't just go and just do that. And it was not open source. So that was the advantage. Can I start this? And these are the layers of the Symbian platform, and I guess it looks awfully a lot like Android. So Android actually derived its basic layer structure from Symbians. So we have this book called Symbian OS Internals, and I suggest my audience to read this, and it is very good. So she says that this is the basic of all operating systems. Next slide. Then we have security features, but there was this virus called Carrot, and actually, and it has 13 strains in all. So I have the source code in my blog, so if you want you can download it. Yeah, then we have Android OS, so we have already seen this chart so many times, so I won't be discussing about that. The basic Android features are these, which were not there before, and most importantly, and what I like is the adaptability. Different screen sizes and different handheld devices with different microprocessors. So after that, we come to the iOS. We think that even iOS is the most secure one. It is actually a hype. iOS is the least secure if you can just go through the code, but Apple doesn't throw away the code, so we don't know. But this is the one specific code I found. So this, when this is launched, you will get your custom like wallpaper in that way, and you can't change that. So you have to go to Apple again. So I have to conclude from here. So are we secure in this environment? Like everybody is having their own custom things, and now we have open source. And even I forgot to mention, even Android has its own viruses like Ginger Master and Droid Control. and people use Mobigenes, and there is this app called Chain Reaction. When you can actually literally program that application to get your stuff, get your mobile stuck for 5 hours, and you can't come out. Okay, of course, yeah, the latest version has removed that bug, but yeah, there is a possibility. So the problem comes in the war between is the open source good or is the open source bad? Because of the open source, you can go through the code and you can create the bugs. If the open source is bad, then yeah, even somebody can do that, and if you can perform by yourself, then you can't do it. So this right. So advanced Nolan says that in the technological revolution in this era, we are actually insecure in a total, like in a wasteland. And India is 26th country to be technologically secure after we are having most employees in Apple, Windows, and other things. So this is actually a pathetic concern. And what we need today, according to Neil himself, is that we need our own operating system, we need our own technological independence. If that is not possible, what is the guarantee that NSA is not spying on us when it can spy its own citizens? And Osama bin Laden was caught during that spying only. So in that case, when they can come till Pakistan, why not India? And the previous slide, there was this guy called Papyrus Coleman. He says that this guy. So he says that RBI may be secure, but it is as secure until somebody gets to break it. The only thing is that there was a peace treaty that prevents RBI from that. RBI is seeking foreign technology to keep itself safe. So actually, in my words, this is pathetic. And we have angry words going on us. So I conclude here. And did I mention about the green bands? Yeah, actually I was about to speak about the Delphi-Hellman encryption codes. That was actually my topic. Time was not speaking, sorry. So actually what happens is, I'll give you a brief. When you send an encrypted data, so you can also receive an encrypted data in the same way. So for that there should be a base, and there should be a device, they call it a divisor to get the actual encryption. So that is what, that depends on this one, the lyrics. Sorry for taking more time. Thank you.